Hey, great show.
So we've got one last session here. We wish to thank everybody involved in this conference. So, one of the duties is being kind of co-host of a conference is we've got a lot of gratitude to hand out in terms of, volunteers who helped put this conference together. But let me start with the speakers. We had almost 200 speakers across the conference. You've seen them across all the different rooms. And, it does take a lot, and folks like Ajit have been able to pull in many folks to his panel. I think lots of folks come across the country and internationally. We wanted to thank them because I think it really creates a community atmosphere to bring a lot of folks in. Some conferences have a couple of tracks and it'll be maybe a couple of dozen speakers, but we try to bring 200 in, not because we want people on the stage, but we want them outside, we want them mingling, we want everybody almost in the audience to be on stage as well. If I could have 1,000 speakers, I'd do that. It's just logistically impossible. So the second thing was the sponsors. I think, a conference of this size, we charge 3,000 rupees for a ticket for 2 full days. And we run it at a 5-star hotel, so it does cost a lot more than the 3,000 we charge for startups, right?
We got to raise the...
Exactly. But, we've done that by design. Because we believe we want this to be we're not trying to make any money on this conference. We just, break even, and we can do that only because of the sponsors. So thank you to the sponsors. I think you've been very supportive throughout, and that's a very important aspect of putting a conference together. Obviously, it's very hard to get people to re-up year after year, and they do, many of them. Thank you. So we really appreciate that. Lastly, lots of volunteers. And really, volunteers are not necessarily folks standing and directing people in directions, where to go to eat and all of that. It's really volunteers who are curating, like Ajit just did. The last 3 sessions he's been running, we just literally just called him, said, hey, would you do this? Give us a thematic. Here's the thematic of the conference overall. And he came back with lots of suggestions. Then we said, no, not only can you give us suggestions of the sessions, we also have to invite the people. And you have to make sure they're there. So that's the basic... I have to give to the MR. MR, you get your...
Thank you. I come all the way from the U.S.
All the way from the U.S. and you get a little gift from us for your gratitude. And lastly, our partners. We had an incredible number of partners participate across the board. Some took on sessions, some took on connects, some helped us with marketing, some helped us with videos, some helped us with all kinds of things that may be sight unseen. And it's a very important aspect of obviously putting this together because we don't have all of these skills, we don't have all of these networks, and we really want this to become a platform for others to participate in as well. So for instance, today we had the IVCA meeting here where we had 60 venture capital firms come out. They even then met with the SIDBI chairman. There's a whole bunch of stuff that happened. IAN had their meetings. So, I think that's the kind of atmosphere we wanted to create. And thank you to all the partners. And we really, really appreciate that. And finally, thank you, MR, and my co-host, Arun Seth as well. We 3 kind of put this together at the initial stage, get this kicked off, and then hand off to all the volunteers who helped bring this together. So thank you, MR, for coming out.
Hey, you're welcome. It's been great fun, and it's been great 2 days. I really liked the 5 summits yesterday. I wish I could clone myself and be in all 5, but I was in the deep learning one, and that was amazing to get professors and PhDs in there to talk to startups. So I see this growing as a growing trend for us as well. And today, all the Silicon Valley perspectives were great, and then later in the day to hear from all the digital companies in India, I think it was a fabulous set of sessions this year.
Fantastic. And if people have suggestions, this is really a conference where we depend on suggestions coming in. Last year, we had a suggestion of, hey, we need to go deep on some of these technology topics. And, can we get some of both academics and those that are doing it, those that are practicing it inside of companies, deep inside of companies who don't normally show up at conferences. Can we start doing that? And we got those folks out as well. So thank you to everybody who's participated, PK, Kamal, the whole gang here. I really appreciate everybody coming out for this event. And we hope to see you again here next year. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
And one final thank you, actually. I'm remiss in not thanking the NASSCOM staff. I think, they do a fantastic job.
NASSCOM.
They carry a lot of load, and really it makes it easy for us to just stand on stage and, just show up and walk on, right? And thank you very much to the entire NASSCOM staff. I think some of them are here. Please, big round for you as well. Thank you. Good.
Great.
And we have a small video. MR and I will walk off into
Yeah.
the sunset here, and there's a little video that we'll
Okay.
play. Thank you.